Radio talk show, The Savage Nation. Here is Michael Savage. Is back at work in the market today. You know, the Dow is down right now, 437 points.
As the numbers continue to slide into negative territory, Dow Industrial is now down 440 points.
Investors don't want to be caught holding the bag when something happens to suggest that the world's headed into a recession.
The depressed housing market is showing no signs of getting better and helping out this economy.
I met a couple of traders, and they told me that they're just not seeing anything good coming out about the U.S. economy.
The Dow down now more than 450 points.
That's an absolute plunge.
Dow right now closing down 419 points.
There's no question that you're asking yourself who's to blame for the downgrade of our financial health, really, from a AAA to a AA plus. Who's responsible for the downgrade? The Tea Party, Obama, or Standard & Poor's? I was amazed to watch the children in the Obama administration pointing fingers at everybody but themselves. There was Barney Frank saving his fanny by saying it was the Defense Department needed to cut more. There was John Kerry blaming the Tea Party, and there was Obama blaming everybody but him. These are like children at college who found out that their credit's been cut off by their parents, and they're saying, "That's not fair. He did it. I want more credit. My wife has to go to Africa very soon on another big junket. We want more credit." Now, the question is, why is this happening? You can call me if you want to chime in on who's to blame and do a baby talk show, or who's to blame for the downgrade, the Tea Party, Obama, or S&P. But I want to talk about Afghanistan as the graveyard of empires. I've watched this for a while, and I'm pretty sure that we're bankrupt. Well, for a number of reasons. We know social spending's out of control. We know there are far too many people on food stamps, on welfare, etc. We know that the corporate welfare, such as General Electric, earning $5.3 billion in the United States and paying zero in taxes, is a symptom of corporate welfare that is responsible. However, the American taxpayer, those of us who actually pay taxes, we're overtaxed. We're not going to pay any more taxes. We pay our fair share, Obama. It's the people who put you in power who want to be paying, and they're paying nothing. The question is, why am I bringing up Afghanistan? Well, two reasons. One, because 20 or so Navy SEALs died, and it's already been passed over like nothing happened. But if a dirty, degenerate, perverted slut in Hollywood fell and died, you'd see flowers and balloons and clowns now for 3 weeks from the psychos in the media. Why am I focusing on Afghanistan? Because Afghanistan is known as the graveyard of empires, number one. And I want to develop this theme with you today. Afghanistan has often been called the graveyard of empires. No Western army in the last 2,500 years has resisted the country of Afghanistan. Beginning with Alexander the Great, who conquered Afghanistan in 330, but after a brief occupation, his armies were forced to give up Afghanistan. The British failed in 3 separate wars to subdue Afghanistan. The Soviet army was pushed out of Afghanistan by the Mujahideen in the 1980s. And now America is fighting an army of terrorist madmen who will have no qualms about fighting us for the next 100 years. No qualms about shooting at our troops from behind every mosque, behind every rock, and every cave in that country. They don't care that no matter how many troops we send, they will still be hiding in the mountains ready to kill us. And I say they don't care. Now, 30 SEALs died, the largest number of Navy SEALs to ever die in a single incident. The commander-in-chief is Iraq, Spain, the man who made us so proud of brain, and they made him the CIA, and now they made him the Defense Department, and we have questions to answer to American people. And here's the question. Number one, for this mission in one helicopter? Was it Barack Obama in the barbecue? Did Leon come out for a hot dog and say, hey, listen, going into Afghanistan, can they use 3 helicopters? No, we got to save money. Cut it down to 1. Put it all in 1. Save on gas. Is that a scenario? As I asked on MichaelSavage.com on the weekend, did somebody in the Defense Department report the Taliban that it was SEAL Team 6 in that helicopter? Not exactly the same men who killed Osama bin Laden, but their brothers in arms. Who tipped off the Taliban? The Taliban are boasting that they have infiltrated the Afghan military. If they've infiltrated the Afghan military, it means they've infiltrated the U.S. Defense Department, which means that someone's head ought to roll, and it shouldn't be mine for asking the question. I want to know why the American people are not marching in the street demanding that either Panetta be fired or Obama quit. You have the largest death of the most elite Navy SEALs force in history, under the commander-in-chief who was at a barbecue while it happened. And I'm the only one asking the question. 1, why were they all in one helicopter? I'm the only one asking the question. Was it Panetta who did this? That is, who made $10 billion on the bet that the U.S. credit rating would be downgraded? Who made $10 billion on this? Whose name comes to mind? Does it begin with an S and end with an S? A mystery investor or a hedge fund that reportedly made a bet of almost $1 billion at odds 10 to 1 last month that the U.S. would lose its AAA credit rating. Questions now being asked of whether the trade public credit measure before placing the $850 million bet futures market. There are mounting rumors that investor George Soros, the famous American-hating George Soros, also famously known as the man who broke the Bank of England, could be involved. Soros made more than $1 billion on currency speculation when the British pound left the exchange rate mechanism on Black Wednesday in 1992. A source with knowledge of the firm said Soros was not involved in the rumor trade and questioned whether in fact there had been such a trade at all. However, listen carefully. The latest bet was made on July 21 on trade to 5,270 10-year Treasury futures and 3,100 Treasury bond futures. Now the investors gamble seems to have paid off, and the Standard & Poor's issued credit rating downgrade from AAA to AA+. Whoever this bet stands to earn a 1,000% return on their money, with the expectation that interest rates will be going up after they're downgraded. The link has been made to George Soros, in part because he has been tied to President Obama's administration since 2008, according to the Examiner. You ready for the following line of this article? Here it comes. Soros also recently stopped managing money for outside investors. That was about 2 weeks ago, remember that? Meaning he is no longer under the scrutiny from the SEC that he would have been if he was managing other people's money. In other words, he ceased being a manager of other people's money. He was no longer under the microscope of the SEC, and then this happened? Well, we don't know if it's him, but the mystery bet and the person who made $1 billion could easily have been made by another trader with similar resources, despite Soros' links to the Obama administration. The bet also raises questions of whether Obama and Treasury Secretary Geithner said in April there was, quote, no risk of a downgrade. But the government now seems to be attacking Standard & Poor's. Again, I want to read you the headline. Who